Hey patrons, over on my main channel, I shared a short with my 5 most anticipated films of summer 2022, and here you get 5 more of my most anticipated films of the summer. These aren't in any particular order. These are just 5 more of the films I'm anticipating. Some of them I've seen a trailer for. Some of them I even discovered while researching this video and was like, I'm excited for that. I don't know anything about it, but just the cast and the crew have me very excited to check that one out. So here you go. First up on our list is going to be Vengeance. Now, this is one of those films that I had no knowledge of until I was researching films coming out this summer, and I saw a little bit of information, just decided to dig into it. And basically, this is a horror thriller from BJ Novak. Ryan from The Office, he's actually a writer, and so he's written and directed this film, and based just off that, I'm just curious. I want to see, what can Ryan the Temp do writing and directing a horror film? Will it be awesome? Will it be awful? I don't know. Adding to that, just the cast that's involved, that it just seems like an interesting film. I haven't seen a trailer for it. I don't even know if there is a trailer for it yet, but just looking up the details, it looked interesting to me. Next up on here will be Black Phone. This is a thriller that stars Ethan Hawke and is directed by Scott Derrickson. Now, Scott Derrickson was supposed to do Doctor Strange too, but because of creative differences, he decided to go off and do his own thing, and that's what this movie is. This is what he did instead of doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And he's always been kind of somebody that, moves to his own beat, kind of his own kind of a creative force that I don't think was always best to do big, gigantic franchise films. And he has a history of doing quality horror film, so him returning back to the horror thriller genre, and this was the thing that he decided to do rather than chasing fame, rather than chasing big franchise films. All of that sounds very cool to me. Can't wait to check this one out. Then we have Bullet Train. Now, this is the new action film from David Leitch, the director of Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, and the secret second director to the original John Wick. So the original John Wick only has one credited director, but really there were 2 directors, and this is the guy that was the credited director has gone on to direct the other ones, and then the secret director went on to do these big franchise films, and now he's doing a big film, but not a franchise film, and it's got a star-studded cast, a big, energetic, flashy trailer where they're on a bullet train filled with assassins, and they're trying to kill each other throughout the train ride. Looks like a lot of fun, looks very energetic, and it's my kind of thing. So obviously it's one that I want to check out. Final 2 on here, we've got Nope, the latest film from Jordan Peele. Now, as a big fan of Get Out, I was not such a big fan of Us. And so for me, he's batting 50%. But he's an interesting 50%. It's not like I thought Us was like, man, he just went lazy with this one. No, he went ambitious. He tried to do some different things. And there were a bunch of things in Us that I thoroughly enjoyed and thoroughly respected. But the overall film, I don't think, came together for me. And he's an interesting director. Whether it's a home run or a strikeout, he's swinging for the fences. He's trying to do something interesting. And there's always that intrigue and that mystery. And you don't know exactly what you're in for. And that's what this looks like. So we'll find out. If this one's another dud for me, maybe I won't be so interested. Maybe for me, he's a one-hit wonder that had one really good idea where he's able to blend horror, social commentary, and a little bit of dark humor. I don't know. But I'm curious to find out, and I'm hoping that it turns out that Us was just kind of the anomaly for me. A lot of people love that film. I just wasn't one of them. It just didn't come together for me. Final one on here, of course, is going to be Thor, Love, and Thunder. Thor 4. And Taika Waititi is returning to write and direct. He did Thor Ragnarok, which is made for one of the liveliest and most fun films in the MCU. And as the MCU is known for making fun films, making the most fun film is pretty impressive. And maybe the funniest one when most of them are pretty funny. Impressive stuff. Add to that, you've got Thor once again with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love that Asgardian of the Galaxy vibe. I'm pretty sure they're just going to be bookends. They're going to be there in the first 15 minutes and then probably show up at the end of the film. They're probably not going to be in the middle. That's fine. Any more of that Asgardians of the Galaxy, I'm excited for. The reason it didn't crack my top 5 is I'm nervous about this Jane Foster plot line, that I don't like it when everyone turns into a superhero. I don't, and I've said this for years on whether Arrowverse, wherever you're talking about it, whenever you start going down the line long enough and it just seems like everyone eventually becomes a superhero, everybody joins the super team. I'm not a big fan of that. And at a certain point in time when it's like you hired Chris Hemsworth because of his superhero physique, you didn't hire Natalie Portman for that same purpose, and then jump down the line like, well, one plot line in the comics did this thing where I'm just not sold on that. And it just feels also like there's a little bit too much of that going on, where if you look at a bunch of the different things that are happening in phase 4 or upcoming projects, there's just a lot of, it's the guy that was in the original Avengers, except this time it's a girl. When you do that one time, it's interesting. When you do it 2 times, it's like, okay, that feels a little bit familiar. When you look at it, and we got She-Hulk and was it Ironheart, and then we did Captain Carter, and there's just a number of them kind of happening. At a certain point in time, it just feels a little bit like we're getting derivative and going to the exact same bag of tricks. It makes me a little bit nervous. Obviously, loved Thor Ragnarok, loved as Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited for here. There are some red flags for me as well. So we'll see how all of that turns out. Anyway, there's 5 more of my most anticipated films for this upcoming season. Let me know yours down below in the comment section, and keep talking on movies and TV too much.